Hi guys, I'm Brittanie Wright and I am one of Meg's Star Diamond coaches, and I just wanted to share with you guys how I have managed to build my business, being a stay-at-home mom of two, and in just 3 years of what I've been able to accomplish. I am a 5-star diamond in my first business center and a 1-star diamond in my second business center, and I'm a 2015 elite coach. And I reached elite in my third full year of coaching. And honestly, guys, it's not from doing anything more than I'm going to share with you as far as Power Hour goes today. So when I first started coaching, I was a new mom to 4-month-old twins, and I just committed. I talked with Meg, and I knew what I wanted to do with this business, and I wanted to bring in an income to cover my husband's Shakeology, my Shakeology, and a babysitter and some date nights. And so my goal was $400 a month, and I just focused on that. And this is what I did. I committed to 5 days a week that I would give an hour. And I'm going to kind of share with you 2 scenarios here. But when I first started out, it was I'm going to commit to 5 days a week, 5 hours. However, that came about. Sometimes the hour was at 7 a.m., sometimes it was at 2 a.m., sometimes it was at 11 a.m., and sometimes it was in the p.m. It just kind of varied on when I could get those little blocks of time in with 2 newborns and trying to get my own health and fitness on track and learning the business. So I just committed to Power Hours, and I have kept that commitment and that consistency 3 years into my business. My twins are now 3.5, and I am now 30 weeks pregnant with number 3, and my business is only growing. Maybe not at the same pace as it was this time last year, but there's still growth. There's still new coaches. There's still new people. I'm still hitting Success Club 10 and hitting those goals, and that really comes down to how I manage my time and how I manage my Power Hour. And my Power Hour is non-negotiable to this day. So Monday through Thursday, I focus on getting a lot of my business done in those 4 days. So I commit to nap time as my Power Hour. As soon as my kids go down, I pick up the house a little bit, make some lunch if I need to, but typically that's already done. But I'll clean up some things and just kind of get my mindset right, clean up the kitchen, and do my motherly and wifely duties for 10-15 minutes. And then I will plug into my computer. And that's my first tip for you. Do not do your Power Hour from your phone. It is way too easy to get distracted, and it's just a lot easier and more efficient to work from your computer. So whether that meant I had my station docked in the dining room table, at the living room, or in my office now, I had my tracking sheet and my computer set to go as my focused work time, and I was ready to rock it. So Monday through Thursday was nap times. So what I do during my Power Hour is I make sure that my news feed is not on my Facebook. I use the kill the Chrome, or kill the news feed through Chrome, I think is what it's called. And I use that. So when I am on Facebook on my computer, it is purely work. I cannot get distracted by Facebook. I take my phone and I will put it in airplane mode so I don't get text messages or notifications. All of my notifications from Facebook are turned off on my phone, so I don't know when a message comes through or a new notification from someone liking my post comes through. I don't get any of that on here. So I just flip this over just in case I get a text, and I just keep it there, and I try not to look at it. So when I sit down for my Power Hour, I add to my network first, because that's the hardest one for me to do. It's the one that will get shoved off to the side. And I commit to 3 to 5. 3 is my minimum. 10 is when I'm really trying to move and groove. And so I try to do 10 as many days as I can. I'll do my 10 contacts from my like page, typically is where I meet them. Once I get my people added, I then go into my messages, and then I go to all the unread ones, and I scroll down to the very bottom, and I start from the bottom and work my way up, because I want to respond to the person who has messaged me the latest first. And the key here, and I think this has saved me so much time, is I don't respond to every message right away. I don't see that it's in there and I'm going to take 5 minutes to respond to it. I respond to the people who've inquired about a challenge pack, my free group, coaching, or people who like I know their name and I've built that and established that relationship with them, I go to them first. And I make sure that I get to those, because if for some reason my children wake up or someone knocks at the door, my husband comes home, or I'm needed somewhere else, like I know that those messages were taken care of, and those are my priorities. Then my messages move into, my building relationships, my people that I'm forming and getting to know, and just seeing if the relationship is there and the friendship can be made through messages and things like that. And then I go into my coaches and I answer their questions. So that's how I do my messages. Once I'm done with my messages, I jump right into my groups and check into my groups. I pre-schedule everything for my groups, so I don't have to go in and post. I schedule that. I take time one time a month, and I just schedule that all out. Now I have my assistant do it. So as you build your business and responsibilities grow, you can kind of share that task. But I still get in there and I check in to make sure that the people that I'm helping and that I promised to help that month, I'm encouraging them. I check in, I comment, share a picture, share something that's from me that day if I need to, and get in there. Once I'm done checking into my groups, I then go into my Coach Online office and I check my sponsorship drill down. I check my volume, I check for returns, I check for new customers. I just kind of look through all of that and get done what I can. So if I have a new customer, then I email them. If I have a Shakeology lead, I email them. And I just make sure I know where my business is. I make sure who my inactives are. I make sure who my active coaches are. I check my, if you are building a team, you want to be sure you're checking their coaches and making sure that they're active and making sure you're checking that. So I check my Coach Online office, and then I check my team page and get in there and try to post something encouraging, maybe a short video or something like that. Or I check Megs for some announcements and get plugged in with the team. And then I go into my training, if there's a training, aka personal development for the business. So if Meg's done a video, or if there's a video somewhere else that a call that I missed or something, then I'll plug that in for my personal development. And I also want to say, during my messages and my ads, that's when I'm doing my inviting as well. So let's say, for example, Monday night I do a hook post, and it's for a challenge group. I make sure that when I post that challenge group post, that is a time that I can sit by my phone for 20 or 30 minutes and get those initial messages out of, hey, I saw you liked my post. Are you interested or want more information? And, those initial messages are out. And then that next day when I pop into my inbox, I'm responding back to those because they've responded back to me. So that's when I do my invites, is I do a post. I only invite on that night and send out those initial messages, and then I keep those conversations going. So that's how I do my invites. Follow-ups, I do a daily fours list, and so I do mine a little bit different, and we're just starting June. So you guys can't really see that. So I use just like a normal calendar, a planner, and I started taking just these little spots right here, and I will have add to my network, invited to coaching or to my business or our challenge group, and then I have follow up, and then I have mentor for coaches that I've chatted with. So this follow up column right here that I would use, I would look back from Tuesday, Monday, and the previous week and see who I need to follow up with from who I invited. This system works for me. It's worked really well. I feel a lot more organized and focused using that system. So that's where, I lost my sheet. That's where my invites and follow-ups happen. When I'm adding and messaging, I look at that sheet to see who I need to and kind of take some time that day to go back, and it works for me. It's not the smoothest of everything, but this is how my mind works and how it functions for me. So that's how I get my power hour in, and I know that some questions come up that like, well, when do you get this in and when do you get that in? If it's anything extra, like a video like this or a longer training or something I have to take time and implement, I do it at night. And I just wait for my kids to go to bed, and I wait for my husband to go to bed, or I let him know ahead of time that I need to spend some extra time that night to do a training call or to focus on something that I need to implement or whatever the case may be. I just communicate that with him so that he understands what I'm doing and that I'm working and not just playing on Facebook. But I typically do that stuff more at night when everyone is calm in bed and I can focus without getting interrupted. Or if I'm super tired, then it's not something that's going to make or break my business, but that power hour will. So nap time is my hustle time. It is my go time. And it's really been the hour to 2 hours that has grown my business. So if you can stay consistent and stay focused on that and make it a productive time and not just getting on Facebook and scrolling through the newsfeed or getting lost in your challenge group, but going in and opening your computer with purpose, with vision, and with passion, you're going to see growth, you're going to see consistency, and you're going to be able to accomplish your dreams and help so many people accomplish theirs. So I hope this helps. If you have questions, feel free to reach out and ask. But thanks for listening, and can't wait to hear what you think.